Well, first and foremost, hello.
Hey.
Hi. So Felix, this is your fourth studio album, and I don't know about you, but over the pandemic, I actually have been trying to learn a little bit of ASL, like sign language.
Oh, cool.
So expensive. You have to like expensive sounds for nice people.
Wow.
Hey.
I was sick.
Well, let's talk about this album, by the way. This is a nice little segue, but why did it take so long to come out?
So there was this pandemic thing. I don't know if you heard about that.
Like, was this ready to, like, was it ready to go and then everything kind of went crazy and then you couldn't
use it? It was like pretty close to being ready. And then obviously, so we sort of like, I had a plan to come out in 2020. But it was like a different version of what the album is now. So like the songs were like there, but I was like, it gave me time to just really like dial in on the production and just like literally like try to like make it like sonically sound as perfect as I could get it. So I was like appreciative of the extra time because I'm like way more proud of the album. Like when I listened to like the old versions of the one that I was going to originally put out, I was like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't put out that version of that song because that sounds like crap to me now. So it's like a learning experience. Also, like went kind of mad, like trying to work with songs for that long. But ultimately, like the music sounds better to me, so like that's always the goal, right?
Isn't that what happens as artists? Like one of my best friends is a musician, and he always says similar to what you said, that you have this project, you have it ready, and if there's any sort of a delay, it's almost like you need to rewrite the project. Like it never unless you release it right then and there, it's going to morph and change, right?
Totally. And like, especially like being because I'm a producer, I'm not like a singer or whatever. It's like, I feel like what I do is so hinged with like the technology that exists for what I do. So it's like constantly there's like a new thing out that I'm like, oh, like that's like a new plugin for my computer that like will help me make things sound better. I just feel like as a producer, which is why I love it, is like I just feel like I'm constantly learning. Like I just feel like I'm a total student and all I care about is like trying to learn more. And some days I feel like I like really know what's going on, and other days I like will find some new thing to start learning about, and I'm like I don't know anything about that.
And is that kind of, so this is the fourth album that you put out. You say that this is like a whole new chapter of your musical career. Like your first two were kind of like, not that you're not proud of them, but it's more like you see the growth. So what's been the biggest growth? You're not proud at all? I mean, like,
no, I'm proud. I'm like, but it was very hard for me to listen to those first two albums. I'll put it that way.
Why?
I know they were like necessary like steps in like where I am and stuff. And I'm like proud of them in the sense that like, yeah, it's all part of the journey, like whatever, however you want to say it. But like, it just sonically, like I'm just like, oh, it's like it just misses the mark so much for me because I'm just more competent at producing now. So it's like, the mixes are cringe to me.
Have you ever been a fan of like a specific producer and without you even asking, they have done a remix of your song and you've heard it and you're like, oh my gosh.
Especially when I like first heard of like some DJs play my music, like that was the craziest feeling ever. Because I'd be like, wait, they just like chose to play one of my songs. It's like, yeah, it's like first times those happened to me was like, I can't describe that feeling. It's like, oh shit, it's like the validation. Validation is a lame word, but like that's how you feel.
No, I agree. It's like I know so many people. They, even way back in the day, even today, still people are like, oh my god, the first time I heard my song played on radio, or the first time I saw it on like a big Spotify list, it still is. It's just that acclamation where like, yes, like I did it, and it must feel so good. Totally.
And like I still feel like when I hear on the radio, it still like makes me like emotional a little bit. Yeah. But like especially because like me, like as a producer, like I'm producing everything myself. Like I mastered like all these songs myself too, so I'm like literally just like the guy. So when I hear it on the radio, in a weird way, I'm kind of like, I was like, oh, like it stacks up to real songs. Like,
yeah. So let's get to this album. So 500 Days got released too with the album. Like that's the one that's being pushed right now. Tell us a little bit more about 500 Days.
Yeah. So I wrote that in
500 days.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me 500 days. Probably by the end of mixing it. That's probably Yeah, I wrote it in Oslo with a few writers there, and Matilda's the featured vocalist and obviously one of the writers. She's an amazing voice. Like she's such a great singer. There's something about Scandinavians that are just like so much better at pop music than everyone else that like blows my mind. A good portion of this record was done on this like writing trip I did in Oslo for 3 weeks. I really have this like fondness for Norway because I kind of like, this is the thing I noticed. So it's like in Oslo, people are like, we really want to make it in Sweden because it's like Sweden's like the big one out there, like in Scandinavia. And I kind of feel like Canada has that feeling a little bit with the US, like you want to make it in the US too. So I was kind of like, I feel like we had both have this sort of like little brother syndrome a little bit.
Yeah.
And I would argue almost it makes us better because we're like thinking we have to work harder or something. And then the music's just like even better for that reason. So I love writing there. And everyone's chill too, so it's nice.
Every day when you get up, are you producing like every single day of your life right now, or do you ever take time to chill?
I take weekends off now because I just like because it's too crazy. Like I honestly like my hand hurts from my mouse now, like from the pandemic, which is pretty weird because I've been on my laptop a lot more. But
that's because he's writing.
Yeah. But on the flip side, I'm also like I guess I definitely take I think of it as a job, even though it's fun to me. But like, I definitely, to me, it's kind of like the gym where like it's sort of like, it's annoying making yourself go there sometimes. But like, once you're there, you're kind of like, all right, like I'm here. So like, let's get going into it and get into it. And I feel like producing is sort of like feels similar to like working out in that sense too, where it's like a muscle where you kind of like want to keep it sharp. So,
keep it fresh and keep it going.
Yeah. So I like put it in the hours per se.
So with the new album, it's finally out. We're recording this interview at the end of June of 2021. Summer's still here. You know, people are dying to get to festivals. They're dying to get to indoor shows. Where is your head at right now? Are you in the same kind of realm on the other side as the artist / producer?
Oh, dude, I can't wait for like I'm dying to play shows and travel. I miss like traveling was such a big part of my life before, and I'm like, I feel like a part of me is like taken away pretty hard. So yeah, I'm so excited. And also like, you know, with streaming and even like radio and stuff. So for me, it's like kind of like feels like the songs like go into like a void a little bit, and I'm like, until I hear it on the radio once, part of me is like, is it actually getting played on the radio though?
You're like, are they actually being real with these numbers? Or I can tell, your music gets requested, which is a really cool thing, right? You know, like obviously there's songs you have to play, and then it's nice when people want to hear songs. And I would definitely say you get one of those thumbs up for being an artist that people really want to hear, especially like we play you in the morning too, and it's like upbeat and it's dancey. Yeah. Actually,
the other day I was like biking on I was biking the seawall, and this person rode by on their bike, and they were like blaring one of my songs, and I was like,
which one?
Harmony.
Oh really? Dude, that's so awesome. Wow.
And I was like, to me, I was like, I haven't heard someone like listening to my song in so long that it was like, I was like, okay, cool. Like the music is like, it was weird. It was like a weird kind of like vindicating moment. People like that know my stuff think I'm way more famous than I am. I'm like, no one cares. No one knows what. It's fine.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, they know. Like, I think like they know the music probably.
Yeah.
But they don't like know me, and I'm actually like that because I can like go and do what I want.
Well, again, the album is called Expensive Sounds for Nice People. You know, I could talk to you for an hour. I probably already have. I would love to be at the very first show that you do here in Vancouver. I 100% want to hear this album in a big area with like a dance floor or outside. It's going to be incredible.
Hey, I got you. Just hit me up and we'll make it happen. And I actually think that'll be sooner than we think.
Do you think before the end of summer? Like, do you think there might be something for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, dude. Incredible.
I've been having some talks, but like obviously we're still waiting on like the regulations, obviously. But I'm like got a few things where like we're ready to like pull the trigger. Hopefully, once things get lifted. So we'll see.
Well, I'm excited, and it's nice to talk to you without a mask on. By the way, even though it's through Zoom.
Yeah. Dude.
But Felix Cartal, your fourth studio album. So again, Expensive sounds for nice people is
Okay.
out right now.
Love that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Felix, and can't wait to see you soon.
Thanks so much for having me. Such a pleasure.
Virgin Radio.